this was not in the question box. This was not submitted on a card. But yesterday, Bishop, after our opening and after my opening video, a lot of people came to me to ask me about this photo. Now, you know, I know there's a story to the photo that is not fully conveyed by the picture. So many people ask me what it's about. Where did you get it? So I thought it would be lovely for you to have an opportunity to answer that question. Tell folks the story about this, how it came to be, and what's really going on in this picture.
Oh, now the secrets. Yeah, right. That is at St. Paul's in Syracuse. Kathleen actually took the picture. I got her to follow me in there and asked her to take the picture. But the backstory is this. This is a journal that I received, and I've said this to a couple of you who had asked me on the side. Believe it or not, much of fly fishing literature is highly literary. Mm-hmm. That particular journal is high-quality photography, poetry, very well-written pieces. It's not how-to stuff. It's philosophy, it's religion, it's spirituality. Many of the people who edit that are classics professors in universities around the United States. And they asked that they had a little piece in there that if you want to send us a photograph of you reading the journal, we'd like to see it.
That's a standard department, isn't it?
Right. It's a standard department. The issue after this is a full page of me in that picture.
Yeah, it's a good story.
And the editor has asked, actually, he contacted me, and he said, when you're retired, he said, would you be willing to write something for us?
Yeah, that's great.
And I said, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I would add this to the one of the earlier questions.
Okay.
Stay playful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've laughed a lot in this work with you. I've cried, yes. I've anguished, yes. I've laughed a lot. Playfulness goes a long, long way. Playfulness is not dismissive of the seriousness of the work. Playfulness, I believe, allows us to engage the seriousness of the work because it's holy play. I believe, by the way, that's what liturgy is. It's holy play. Play at liturgy in the best sense. And so also in this, the other piece of the story is there's, in the photograph that appears, he writes a caption. And I'm not going to remember the caption exactly, but it says something about picturing me casting in big spaces and all these things. So yeah, it all goes together.
But didn't you actually do that when you first became bishop? Didn't you actually cast in the church?
I did.
Is that a true story? I seem to remember that.
I had somebody who was a former drummer with Eric Clapton, who became a creator of bamboo fly rods, of finely crafted fly rods, and he actually, boy, this is more than you want to know probably, but see if I can wrap this up shortly. And that is, he crafted this fly rod. And I bought it from him because some of you know I'm an Eric Clapton fan, and one of the things I hope to do in my retirement is work on my Fender Stratocaster a little bit more and to get some of those licks down. However, so I digress. But so I had this fly rod made, and it came in February. Well, what does central New York look like in February outside? So, but it came, and so I couldn't leave it in the tube. So I knew he told me the day it was going to arrive, so I was watching for it. It was delivered to St. Paul's and downtown, and I took it out of the tube. I brought a fly reel with me that day. I walked down into St. Paul's, nice big open space. I thought I was by myself, by the way. It ends up I wasn't quite. Stood in the aisle and started casting. And somebody did walk in and ask me, did you catch anything? But I was practicing with the rod. I wrote back to the maker, told him about this moment. He emailed my email to Eric Clapton.
Yeah, very cool.
Eric Clapton wrote me back
Even more cool.
on an email and said to me, I am picturing the bishop standing in the cathedral doing this casting. By the way, Eric Clapton loves to fly fish. That's another piece of this whole picture. So that's this big, huge backstory.
Yeah.
Be playful.
Yeah.
Yeah, be playful.